Hello everyone and welcome for this new tutorial. As it is the first video of 2024, I want to wish you an happy new year. We start this year with a tutorial on how to make a simple dialogue system. And before we jump in Unreal, I wanted to thank you all for the support, for all the new subscribers. We are almost at 400 subscribers. It's going very fast. So I really wanted to thank you all for the support and I hope you will enjoy this video. I changed a little bit the setup. You will see I will be talking in a green screen. Let me know if you like this way of doing the tutorial or if you prefer the old way, like I was doing before, like doing it live and actually talking and making at the same time. Maybe it's better, we will see how this video goes, but you know, I'm trying stuff. So let me know in the comment section if you like this way or if you prefer the other way, and let's jump into the tutorial. Yes, I'm actually inside Unreal. Let's start by creating the user interface with our UE dialog. We will call this widget W_player interface. As always, we will add a scale box, then a size box, and in the size box, in the width override, we will put 1080. Then we can add a canvas. Then we can add an image for the character that's gonna be talking. In the image, in the brush section, we will add a placeholder. We will put the image of our fox for now. Then we add a text. It will display our dialogue. And we will put this text in a border, so it will be looking a little bit better like that. We can change the brush color of the border to make it black, with 0.2 in the alpha, so we have the transparent border. Now we need to show our widget on the screen. To do that, we will go in our player controller. In our event begin play, to show it at the start of the game, we will use the create widget. In the class, we will choose our widget. It will be the W_player interface. Then we will promote to a variable the widget that we just created, because we need to use it to actually show the dialogue and to hide the dialogue. Then, to show it on the viewport, we need to use the node add to viewport. Now we can see our widget in the game, so we can see our dialogue. Okay, now we need to be able to change the dialogue from our widget, so we'll go back in our player interface. We'll create a custom event, show text. We will get our image variable and do a set brush on this image to be able to change the image. From the in-brush input, we can drag it and use the make sled brush. And by expanding the make sled brush, we can now choose the image that we want to put in our image. Okay, for example, now the image of the butterfly will be showing on the screen. We will add an input on our event with the image that we want to show. For now, I will put the variable to be an object, but later we will change texture 2D because we need a texture 2D in our structure. We will see that later in the video. And we will need two text inputs, one for the name of the character that is actually speaking, and the second one for the text that the character is actually saying. Now we need to have access to the text, so we will go back into the designer, and from there we will click on the text and we will select the is variable. And we will also change the name of the variable to make it easier to use in the graph. And now we can use the setText node to actually update the text. To create a text, we will use the format text, and the syntax is very important. We will put the name of the variable into the bracket, and it will be shown on the format text. Then we can plug, for example, the character name in the first one, in the 0. We will have the variable, then everything that is after in our format text. So it's working now. We could actually stop right now and have something that actually works. We can show some text by using the player controller, but I want to improve it a little bit by using a structure. A structure is like an object that you can find in Java or in C#, and we will add some variable in the structure, and then the structure we can actually use it everywhere we want. So we'll go and create this structure. Our structure will have an image and two texts, the first one for the character name and the second one for what the character is saying. Now we can use our structure. So first we will change the show text input to be using that structure. And from the structure, we can now drag and choose the break structure, and we will have access to all of our variables. And now we can plug it as it should be, the image into the image, and the text in the format text. Okay, so it's perfect now. So we will go ahead and make the dialog visible and not visible. To do that, we will make our dialog border as variable, and then we can make it visible in the show text. We will use the setVisibility node to be able to change the visibility of the border, the text, and the image. Now we will create a trigger box to show some dialogue. When the character will overlap with the box, we will show a new dialogue. Let's create an actor with a box collision. We will add a variable dialogue, which type will be our structure, the s_dialog system. We will click on the eye next to the variable to make it instance editable, so we can add our dialog in the viewport. By clicking on the box collision, we now can choose the event on component beginning overlap. from the other actor, we will make sure that the actor that triggers this event is our player character. So we'll use the cast BP player character. And from this cast, we will get our controller, who have access to our player controller. We will go in our player controller and create an event to be able to show the dialogue. We will add an input on that event. It will be the structure dialog, and by clicking on the little button next to the variable, we can change it from single to an array, because sometimes we want to show multiple lines of dialogue, so we'll need an array. And we will go in our dialog trigger and make it as an array also. Now we can cast to our player controller from the getController node, and we can use the new event that we just created. Now we will do something that doesn't work, but I want to show you why it doesn't work and how to actually fix it, because it's something important with the ForEach, and we will see that. So now the thing that we are trying to do is that we want to show each line of dialogue with a delay. For example, we will show the first line of dialogue with a delay of 4 seconds, and then we will go into the second line of dialogues and go on and go on. So when we think about that, we want to use a ForEach. So it's what we will do, but the ForEach is not working. Why is it not working? Basically, the ForEach will go through the array without waiting for the delay. The loop body will be triggered without waiting for whatever we will plug on it. So we can add whatever delay we want. We can do a lot of stuff in the loop body, but the ForEach is not gonna wait, and it's gonna go through each line of the array without waiting for the loop body to finish. That's why the delay is not working. We actually need to unshow our widget into the player interface, so we'll go and add an event for that. We will use the set visibility to hide the UI. To show you how it doesn't work, I will add a dialog trigger with a text inside, and we'll go through and you will see that it will automatically hide straight away the text. So we have access to the dialog variable into our box trigger, and we can create a dialog in there. As you can see, it looks like there is nothing happening. Before fixing it, I wanted to add a data table to actually store all of our dialog line. So we will create a data table by going into miscellaneous, and we will choose a data table. It's asking to choose a structure, so we'll use our dialog structure. And in the data table, we can create row with a row name. This is the row name that we will use to actually access this data table. For example, we will put the row name 1, and by using 1 into the get data table row, we will retrieve that row. And the thing that we will retrieve from the data table will be the structure. So let's click on add to add a new row. Now we can see that there is an issue with the image. I cannot set the image because I use object instead of texture 2D. So we'll go ahead and change in the structure. We have to change nowhere else, just in the structure. We save it, and now we have access to the new object, the texture 2D, into the image, so we can set up each icon. Let's add our dialog with the image, the character name, and the dialog text. Now let's update our function to use that data table. First, it will be in our player controller. We will change the input from structure array to a name array, which will contain the raw name from the data table. We can now use the getDataTable row and use that row name to access our structure. So let's update our dialog trigger to send his raw name array in the player controller. Now in the viewport, we can just choose which dialog will be showing by putting the raw name into the array of the box trigger. For example, the dialog will be the raw name 2. Now let's fix our ForEach that doesn't work. So bear with me, we're almost done. Our dialog system will be perfect. We will first create a variable called index. It should be an integer. It's gonna be the index of our array. Then we will do a branch. It will be that the index is less than the length of our dialog array. If it's true, it means that we didn't went through all of the dialog in our array, so we still need to keep showing the dialog. And when it's false, we are finished with the array and we need to hide the dialog. We'll do a get on our array and we'll plug the index into the get. And now we can use the getDataTable row to retrieve our dialog structure. We can just show our dialog in the widget. Then we will add the delay that we need to let the player the time to read the text, because this dialog is shown. We finish, we increment, and then we will go back to our branch. Click on the connection and we can create some reroute points, and we can make a nice line. And now in the false, we will use the hide dialog and we will put our index back to 0. Because if we want to use it again, our index has to be reset. So if we want to show some more dialog, we can go to our array with our index at 0. Here it is, now it will work as we wanted. We just created a way to go through an array with a delay. So now we'll add some more trigger box to check if everything is working. We'll add some dialog in our game. Then we will add the dialog into the data table. The dialog is shown for 4 seconds, then it shows the second one. And if there is no more dialog to show, it will hide the dialog UI. And you can see that we are going through the 3 lines of dialogue, so everything is working and we are good with our dialogue system. So let's jump out of Unreal. Here we are, we have a simple dialogue system. I hope you understand everything with the ForEach, how to make our own ForEach with a delay. I hope you understand everything. If you have any question, please ask in the comment section. I will reply to you, I will check it out. And drop a like if you like this video. And I wanted to wish you again an happy new year, and I will see you on the next video. Bye.